Yo guys, what is up? 33rd RPM here, back today to talk about another album. Today we're talking about the sophomore effort from Welsh rockers Catfish and the Bottlemen. This is 2016's The Ride. So coming into this album, I had monumental expectations for this. The Balcony I thought was a superb display of rock and a little bit of grunge and that garage rock sound that really brought back a lot of stuff that I hadn't really heard in music, done well, at least to me. I thought it really played up the punk side of it well, even though it didn't go too much into that, and it had some really solid riffs and hooks. It was a fantastic project, and one of my favorite albums to this day. So, yeah, to say that I was looking forward to this was an understatement. I really wanted this to be one of my new favorite records, and to just say this band could do no wrong, and I'm here, unfortunately, to say that's not the case. This album isn't terrible. A lot of people I know kind of bashed it for being really bad. It's not really bad, it's just not as good as The Balcony was, and therefore, you know, it's not on the same level. You can't compare it. I'll say it a couple times throughout this review, but this album really feels like a bunch of B-sides from The Balcony. A lot of things do sound similar, even to the way songs are placed on this album. I don't know if it was probably intentional, but it feels kind of like a less than stellar retread of The Balcony instead of the next step onwards and upwards for the band. So let's get into it. First off, the songs that do come on here, you can see on the background a very plain font there. You got 7, Twice, Soundcheck, Postpone, Anything, Glasgow, Oxygen, Emily, Red, Heathrow, and Outside. So first off, let's talk about the singles. The singles were Soundcheck and 7. That is track 3 and track 1. Both songs I love. Some of the highlights on here. I really love 7, which is the opener here. How the drums and guitar slowly fade in with that roaring chorus that I'm like, there's Catfish on the bottom, and there's that catchy chorus one thing that's gonna stick in your head. One thing I do have to say for this album is that they do fully demonstrate their hook writing abilities, because almost all of these, whether you like the song or not, will be in your head if you've listened to this more than once. Or even, the first time I heard 7, that was stuck in my head for a couple days. It's an awesome song. It's a really good, solid rock song. I just love this song a lot. It's honestly one of my favorites by the band. I think this is definitely the best track on here. Soundcheck, like I said, is a third track. That was the first single. I like this song, even though to me, this is one of the songs that feels like a retread of The Balcony or a B-side. Even the way that the guitars kind of come in slowly reminds me a little bit of Homesick, how it's just Van's vocals come in and then the guitars come in with that kind of dun 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 like plodding beat. It's still a good song though. Once again, super catchy. It's just, like I said before, and it's going to be a very common complaint here, it just sounds like a less than stellar version of Homesick. To me, it doesn't do anything new to improve upon the formula. Maybe that's just a general criticism for rock and garage rock music in general, is that it just kind of, once again, punk and stuff is not really known for its diversity. Green Day's been using the same 3 chords for 20 years now, but they still make it sound different in aspects, whether it be incorporating piano songs into there or longer songs or stuff like Jesus of Suburbia. But this is not a Green Day rant. That will be later when we start covering those albums. I love Green Day, by the way. So yeah, it's a solid song. Other songs that I do like on here, it's track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Anything. I love this chorus, even though the verses kind of lose me with kind of like a ho-hum. It's kind of boring, but I really like the chorus here. And then the last one I can really say that I really do like is Glasgow. Glasgow is the 6th track on here, and this is the equivalent of Hourglass on this one. Now here's where I said like it feels the same as The Balcony. There's a song halfway through here that's that's the acoustic down-tempo song. I will say that I like this song more than Hourglass. It's a story about him and a girlfriend in Glasgow, and he's like, "You made me fall in love with this city," and all that stuff. Whatever. It's a love song, but it sounds really cool. I love the guitars in this. I love the vocal performance. I do think it's better than Hourglass, but I was never really a fan of Hourglass in the first place. So there's one thing this album does right. I like this song more than Hourglass. But here's where my real complaint comes with this album is the second half of this album. We got Oxygen, Emily, Red, Heathrow, and Outside. So maybe this is just me being super hyped for this, but I really thought where the balcony shown through was the second half of this album with songs like Business and 26 and Rango and Sidewinder and Tyrants. This album just doesn't live up to that. Out of the diversity of those songs, where there be just the blaring bombast of songs like 26 just hit you straight out of the gate, or songs like Tyrants would just end halfway in the middle, which is kind of a pretty cool twist. I will say that Outside's a good closer. It's not as good as Tyrants. Once again, it's good, just not as good as the balcony. And that's my main complaint. I won't ramble too long because I feel like I'm just going to keep repeating myself. These songs are not bad songs. Like I said before, most of them are well written. The only song I really don't like on here is Twice, actually. That's the second track. Ironically enough, I've heard its name twice. They put like some weird vocal effects over Van, and it just sounds grating to me. And I feel like they used the guitars in such a wrong way, whereas if you look at this song versus something like Cocoon, where literally the entire chorus is just power chord, power chord, power chord, versus Twice, I feel like the guitars in Cocoon are used to supplement the story and bring the melody forward, and the guitars in Twice just kind of overpower everything, and I don't think it sounds that good. Twice is honestly my least favorite song by Catfish and the Bottlemen. I really, really hate this song, and it's the only one that if I'm listening to this album, I will actually go and move the needle to skip this song, because I really just can't listen to it. I really don't like it. But, otherwise, like I said, good. It's not great. I don't think anything could have lived up to the balcony, in my opinion. It would have had to be a godlike album. But let's just pray this is a sophomore slump, and that in the third album, we're going to be back to traditional Catfish and the Bottlemen standards. But let's quickly just take a peek and see what's inside. Got the cover here with the gator biting its own tail. I kind of do like that cover, actually. I like that they've continued the black and white scheme from the balcony. Like I said before, you got the songs on the back, barcodes, and some nonsense. You got the lyrics again for all the songs there. And then it does come on 180 grams, which I do really appreciate. It does sound nice, and it feels nice. I really like how they've continued this label, like with the balcony, like there's the logo in the top, then you got the parental advisor sticker and the record company, and then the songs. We're going to be upside down. The trouble of holding records without touching them. There's the other side. So, that's really cool, and one thing I do like is we didn't get, like, with the balcony, you got an insert of the actual album cover, which is actually pinned up on my wall, but this one you get like a little mini booklet, and it actually has the lyrics printed out. Like, hallelujah. As much as I think that this is like super cool, like I can't read half of these, Van. Like, what are these? Literally postponed, just a bunch of arrows pointing to different words. What does that even mean? It was a welcome addition. Maybe I would have liked to have just seen like this is a poster, and then this as like another, maybe on the back side the lyrics, and then this on there, so I could put it up without having, I don't know. It's still cool that they put it in there. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it, and I will not lose any sleep by giving this album a 7.5 out of 10. Good. It's not great. It's never be as good as The Balcony. I would only recommend this album to die-hard Catfish and the Bottlemen fans that want to hear more of their stuff. But if you're like, oh, Catfish and the Bottlemen, that's a new band, like, I should check them out, definitely go with The Balcony over this. It's just a better project in general. Well, thank you guys for listening to me ramble about this album. If you're a fan of Catfish and the Bottlemen, drop me a comment. We can chat about what you liked about this album, what you didn't like about this album, your favorite songs, your least favorite songs. Be a fun time. Until then, I'm sorry this video came out a little bit late. Some things took a little longer to expect it, and a couple things. I'm starting school in like 4 days again, so that's gonna... I'm trying not to let that slow down video production too much, but that might. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Keep on spinning.